in after beating Clearfield 43-0. So coming in with a little bit of momentum. So we're set to kick it off. Isaac Zalelem back as well as Sessi. Volley.
Sessi Vailahi, yep.
So Sessi Vailahi, one of the best players in the state of Utah as well. And West is going to need everything he's got tonight.
For sure.
As we have action in Santa Ana, this one will be returnable. As Sessi, he's going to take it. Go up the gut, but he's met by a slew of Monarchs as they'll bring him down, and we already have the helmet off, and out trots the West offense. What are you hoping to see out of the West offense on this first drive, Sony?
Hopefully we can get, gathered up, some composure, play our game. That's what I'd like to see. Come off, firing off, and not, have a quick start.
Isaiah Suisi be the starter for the West Panthers today. And what do you think about Isaiah and the challenge he has today? And what do you think of his performance last week as well? Started with an interception in that first drive, but after that, a really strong game.
Sure, right? One of the things we talk about at West High is full speed mistakes. Isaiah came right back and drove it down, scored a touchdown. So I look to have Isaiah make good decisions today and play his game.
Ty Arona in the backfield. And they'll give it to him first, and right away the Monarchs waste no time, nowhere to go as they collapse. That's a defensive line that's loaded with Division I prospects. You got a guy like Aiden Breland who has 9 offers, Semi Tulanga, RJ Fine Enefo, Zeus Vengas as well. I mean, these are just dudes up front, lot to handle.
Wow. That's awesome. I wasn't aware of that, but that's cool. So there's kind of a lot of star players, right, on this modern-day team. I mean, rightfully so. They're the defending national champs. So
West got some guys up front as well, though. I mean, Mafi, there's a ton of dudes for this West team. So second and long. This is drive on the 24. Suisue. Modern Day showing pressure. We'll see if they bring it. Suisue drops back. Pressure is hot, and that ball is deflected. Monarchs bring the pressure, and it doesn't get home for the sack, but it does for the deflection. Nasir Wyatt, the blitzer who came in and knocked that one down. And when you bring so many guys like that, it's just tough to pick them up in that situation. And what do you think West needs to do here to get out of this third and long situation? Yeah, it's going to be a challenging one. We'll see if they can make it here. Third and long is always difficult. How are you excited? What do you think of the Panthers' offensive line? Do you think they're going to be able to hold up against this strong group as they were able to do during some summer matchups as well?
Today will be the test, right? I think we had a game last week that was out of our conference. And
third and long, pressure gets home. Suisui buried in the backfield as the Monarchs get a quick 3 and out.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how our composure makes sure that we keep our emotions in check. And
that was RJ Fina Anofo getting home for the sack, the first one of the season for the Monarchs.
Fineang Anofo.
And exactly how they wanted to start it. As West will be forced to punt. Deep in their own territory. Punt is away. It's going to be a short one. And wisely going to just let it bounce is Ajon Bryant. That'll bring out the Monarchs offense. And with their offense coming out, that means it's the first time tonight we're going to get our look at Elijah Brown, one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Bama, Georgia, USC, all the big schools interested in him. What are you looking to see from this West defense when it comes to trying to contain one of the nation's most potent quarterbacks?
That's a good question, JT. You're mentioning a lot of stars. We don't even have to go to Hollywood. We came to Santa Ana. All the stars are right here on Modern Day's field.
4 stars all over. There are 4 4-stars on this team alone.
Okay.
As Brown bobbles the snap, but it's picked up by Bryant, who tries to get to the outside, but he's corralled. for a loss of a yard. So West with a strong start defensively. Julius Tukoisova in for the tackle for loss.
Nice play, Julius.
That's one thing that Coach Solovey really talked about, is that his team, in order to win this game and stay in this game, you can't beat yourself. When you're going against great teams, you can't allow that to happen. So that's a good start right there. You see the Monarchs beating themselves on the first play offensively. We'll see what Brown comes back with here. Going the shotgun. He slipped, but making the impressive falling catch of a gain about 6 yards was Jack Wrestler. When you're talking about a guy like Wessler as well, it's one of the examples of the talent on this modern day team, right, Sony? Just a guy who can, even though he's slipping there, still makes the catch.
Yeah, great catch by him. Great stop by Julius.
So it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 46. West brings 4. Brown's got a pocket, gets it to the outside. And being dragged out of bounds after picking up the first down was Jordan Onovue. And this is going to be the challenge tonight. If you're West, how are you trying to bring pressure and affect Brown amongst a potent offensive line? I mean, this is an offensive line. We're talking about guys like DeAndre Carter, who's another guy who has Bama, Georgia, and USC as well. And both tackle spots, tons of offers. This team is loaded. We see him go with the tempo here. Going to give it to Bryant. He'll get to the outside for another solid run on first down. So things are clicking for the Monarchs right now.
Yeah. Hopefully our boys can get settled in, right? Get these emotions in check and play all 4 quarters.
And that was something West head coach Solovey wanted to prioritize, right? Was coming out here a couple days early and kind of get settled in, so then when the game time comes, you've been in California for a little bit, you're ready for this challenge. Do you think that's something that helped the team coming out here early?
I believe so. Climatizing right to any, atmosphere and setting is always necessary.
Brown almost kept it, but instead gave it. That time it goes to Jordan Davison.
Tripped by number 55, Kalisoni Malu.
So 3rd and 1, second time that West has gotten Modern Day into a 3rd down situation. This time it's 3rd and short. We'll see if they can get it off the field here. Elijah Brown, the next great quarterback in a line of many for this Monarchs team that now has 3 Heisman winning quarterbacks. Brown, they'll give it. Power. Going to the left, Bryant makes a few West defenders miss, but he gets the first. Strong blocking there by the Modern Day offensive line. Sony. So into the red zone now. So 1st and 10 from the 19. As whistles are blowing. So it looks like we do have an injury, so we are going to step away for a moment. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back inside Santa Ana Stadium, home of the Modern Day Monarchs. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Elijah Brown. Looked like there was a little bit of a movement, but it's not going to matter, as instead it'll be a touchdown for the Monarchs as they strike first in their season opener. What do you think of the delivery there by Bryant?
Great delivery. I saw what you saw. It looked like there was a jump on the left side.
Yeah, definitely some early movement there. I'm surprised that wasn't called. So Modern Day strikes first. They'll look to add one more to it. And then typical first game fashion, someone not on when they're supposed to be on special teams. So run him out to the field really quick. Seven nothing. The PAT is good. Mater Dei leads West. With 7:31 to go in the first quarter, you're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back inside to Eddie Westfield. West High football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Valsia Construction. So West gave up the touchdown. We'll see if they can mount a drive now. Tough task. Sesi Vailahi, he had a solid return last time. What do you think the key will be for him to getting that momentum going again?
Just consistency, right? I think like warming up in the gym, got to get some reps. First offensive series didn't turn out how we liked, but we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, I think one of the other things, Sony, is you can't fall behind on those early downs, right? We'll see if that's what they're able to avoid here.
Definitely can't. Not to a team like Mater Dei.
Vailahi going to take it again. But just too many Monarchs on too many sides as he's brought down for a little bit less of a game, this time from the 20. We know West wants to come in here and establish the run, but that's tough to do against a defensive line like Mater Dei, as we talked about. And speaking of that matchup, that's one of the reasons we're having this game today is these two teams met over the summer at one of those camps, got some one-on-one work in the trenches, and Mater Dei was impressed by West, and here we are now. And it has been a great opportunity for West to come out here, and you want to get better by playing the best. Doesn't get any better than the 2021 national champions.
For sure.
Isaiah will give it. And once again, a short run as Arona gets maybe 2 to 3 on the play. So it'll be second and long once again for West. Head coach of the Monarchs is Coach Rollins. 34 seasons with Mater Dei. He has 8 CFI championships and 4 state titles as well. 329, 86, and 2, the record. So an impressive tenure for sure for Coach Rollins.
Super impressive. Did you say 34 years?
Yeah, 34 34 seasons.
Oh, 34 seasons.
Yeah, 329 wins.
Jeez.
Sue trying to escape the pressure. Got green grass in front of him. He's going to tuck it and run. Makes a move to get to the outside and gets out of bounds, avoiding contact. The biggest play of West's offense today comes from their quarterback.
Yeah, good job, Sai. Great feet. Way to get out of the pocket and make something happen.
Sue using the legs. Gets a first down. And hopefully a little bit of momentum for this West team. What do you think was the key for West a week ago, turning things around after the slow start they had, Sony?
Got to establish the run like you said, right? Have to make yourself known, announce your presence. So that was something that I think we're going to continue to look to establish as the run, open up the offense.
Tyrona once again in the backfield. Sue, instead they give it on the sweep, but all over it are the Monarchs. Nasir Wyatt once again making plays in the Panthers' backfield. We're going to lead to another second and long. I like the idea there, Sony, trying to get the motion going around, but just a play where Wyatt just made the heads-up play there.
Yeah. Closing really quick. Definitely not Clearfield we're playing.
Monarchs have a lot of guys in the box. They get it to the outside. A strong play is made to limit what was going to be a short gain for Arona. That time it was Rylan Magana who gets the stop. So you get the first down, and now it's 3rd and 15 from the 28. 5:22 remaining here in our first quarter. Saw Isaiah make plays with his legs on the last 3rd down. This one a lot longer of a distance he's going to have to make up here. Sui try to go to the wide receiver screen. And you just see the speed of the Monarchs. Once again, they're just there too quickly. So the punting units will come on once again. Back to return the punt for Mater Dei is Derek Drayton. Set to receive the punt. And this is another low one. That'll be downed at about the 46. While we have an opportunity, I want to tell you guys about your sponsors for West Football. First, I want to tell you about Oh My Photo by Naomi Messina. Is located at 7819 South Highland Drive in Cottonwood Heights. Whether you're looking for a photo shoot with your family, team, family occasion, come support Naomi at OMI Photo, 801-949-6365. That number again is 801-949-6365.
Shout out to Omi. Thanks so much for all you do for the West Side program.
Brown back again. Exploding through the hole for a large game was Jordan Davidson. So Davidson with nearly a first down run. Looks like it'll go for about 9. And you can see the hole by the Monarchs making those offensive linemen up front doing a good job. So Elijah Brown wastes no time, gets him back on it. And they'll once again give it to Davison. Goes over the top. Nice tackle made to limit him, but still a first down run for Mater Dei nonetheless.
Yeah. Shoestring tackle by Lutuiki. Lutuiki now. Good job, Lutuiki. Didn't become a highlight today.
Same result for the Monarchs as they once again give it to Davison. So 3 straight runs on this possession.
Looks like we've got a roster change up too. Number 9 on our roster is Khalil Laufau, but he's wearing number 57 today. Tackle made by Khalil.
Davidson once again flanking Brown in the backfield. Elijah Brown, the 2024 quarterback. Off the play fake, takes his time, and he's picked.
Picked off.
West with the interception. Returning that one down the sideline is Lotuiki. Tukiiki is going to be caught by Brown, but a huge play made by the Panthers.
Huge play. Good job, Lutuiki now. Right on, right on.
Read it all the way, and that was, he had time in the pocket. You could see Brown did. He went through his progression, came all the way back to it, and they were there. So a huge play made.
Sat on it and picked it off. Well, the play before, right? Running back was about to jump over him. He caught him by a shoestring. That's a good one. Nobody wants to be a meme nowadays, right? let Jordan own that space. And
so
he comes
now
right back
with
and he makes
2
a pick.
huge plays to slow down the Monarchs offense, and that time the interception. While we have a second, I want to tell you guys about NC Payments. Do you own a business that accepts payments by credit cards? Come work with National Card Payments. There are locally owned and operated credit card processing company that has over 22 years of experience. Call or text them today at 801-300-6929 to get a free quote and see how much they can help you. They love to support local prep shops and are offering a $25 Visa gift card for any business that signs up for their merchant services during the high school football season. Call or text today for a no-obligation national card payment requires with no contract periods and has 0 setup fees. Come work with a payment company that cares about your local the local community it serves. Find out how much they can save your company on your credit card processing fees. National Card Payments, the company that cares. 801-300-6929. Call or text them today. So Sui. Offense was backed up after a penalty. See if they can get the drive going, which now starts from the 13.
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't make a big defensive stop, have a turnover, and then be caught in our emotions.
And then have a mental bust as well.
Yeah.
What do you think went wrong there? Is that on Sui? Do you think that was just not knowing the play on that one?
The incomplete pass, I'm not sure on that one, but, kind of referencing back to this penalty that we had great field possession, right?
Yep.
Or position. And then we get a penalty. I didn't see what the penalty was.
I didn't either, actually. So it must have been an illegal block or something. But, we were focused on the play. So it was obviously away from the play. So that's where it hurts you, as you talked about. Because you get that huge momentum and you have a penalty that didn't really have a huge impact on the play itself. So instead of this drive starting at the 40, you're backed up in your own territory once again. 2nd and long. Sui gives it to Arona.
Go Ty.
His best run of the day, but still only good for about 3 yards. So we're going to see Modern Day bring in some new linebackers and defensive linemen. Going 3rd and long. It's something we've seen a lot of teams do now is they have, specifically on 3rds down, start to bring in some of those smaller guys and just in general more of those defensive ends in the interior to give you more of an edge as a pass rush to try to get through and create that pressure quickly.
Right. Must be nice. We look over at our sideline, and I think total, our travel itinerary had about 65 players. And
I have 3 roster pages just in front of me for Modern Day, so they
wow.
definitely have
They've got
the numbers advantage. 3rd and long. Try to set up the screen, but the Monarchs all over it once again. You can see a couple of them broke through, but a couple of them did exactly what you're supposed to do, right? Hung back and waited for it.
Right. Well-disciplined teams, you don't play well.
This is a Modern Day defense that's led by defensive coordinator Eric Johnson. When he joined the team, ever since then, they've won 86% of their games. And even talking about that, this is a team that going back to 2016 is 71-3, and they haven't lost a game since 2019. So it's a tall task facing the Panthers today.
It's amazing.
Low snap takes a bounce, but still able to get away. As we'll pick this drive up from the 45. This is a guy in Elijah Brown as well, who you're talking about last year at 30 touchdowns, 2,581 yards, but starts this season off with, he still got a touchdown pass, but also an interception.
Yeah.
That's a credit to this West defense. What do you think, the Monarchs marched all over him the first time, but getting a turnover, what do you think this does for this West team going forward?
Definitely a confidence booster. We'll see what happens this series. Hopefully we can come up with another turnover or a 3-and-out.
One thing we'll be interested to see if this West defensive line, made up of guys like Kimani Lautaimi,
right.
Yeah, see if these guys can get home here. So they'll opt for the run. Huge hole. And getting about 9 on it was Jordan Davison. Davison already off to a strong day on the ground.
Tackle once again made by Lutuiki now.
Do you think West needs to make a change up front right now, something schematically, or are they just simply losing the one-on-one battles?
Hard to say, JT. I think, if I'd probably be on the sideline coaching right now, but
2nd and 1 from the 36. Brown gives it. And another huge run for this Matter Day offense. As Azon Bryant, another explosive run.
Is that Nathaniel Frazier? 6, I think it looks.
Bryant remains in the backfield next to Brown. A minute, just a little over a minute remaining in our first quarter at Mater Day. Be another give to Bryant, and he is buried. As West comes up, makes a huge play. Mania Brown in for the stop. And Mania Brown, as well as his brother, big pickups for this West team from Harriman. What do you think they'll bring to this defense?
Oh, they bring a lot of excitement and experience. They really bring it. As you can see, they got the start today. So definitely some high caliber play that comes from the Brown brothers.
So a huge stop makes it 2nd and 23. 32 seconds remaining in our first quarter. Brown has time. Looking, waiting, aired it out. Wide open. Ooh. Touchdown Monarchs. A coverage bust by the Panthers leads to the second score of the first quarter for the Monarchs.
Not looking good, JT. Hopefully we figure it out, or it's going to be a real long day. Night.
You know, the series before, you get the interception, and then that time around, leave a guy uncovered. That was Marcus Harris. Was able to score in the right corner of the end zone. .21 seconds remaining in our first quarter. And the PAT is good. So 14-0, the lead at the moment for West. As we step away, you're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Back here inside Eddie West Field, where the West Panthers currently trail the reigning national champions, the modern-day Monarchs, 14-0 in our first quarter. JT Wistersill and Sony Anilo with you on the call. Sony, what have you seen so far in this first quarter?
Well, we've got 2 minutes left. The first quarter, the little bit emotional, I guess, resilience that we need to work on. You know, not getting penalties and throwing away good possession on field possession. But other than that, not bad. 14-0, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people expected worse in the first quarter. So,
I mean, like we've talked about a lot, this is a really tough test. And West made some plays already with the interception as well. Want to remind you guys as well, West High football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Faucia Construction. 21 seconds remaining.
Ceci and Isaac back to return.
Be the third time today. Says he's had an opportunity for a return. Tries to make some moves, but once again, the Monarchs all over it, and they rip his helmet off as well.
Yeah. Little WWF going on. Speaking of, we've got a player, right? If you're into pop culture and WWF, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, we've got a grandson of the legendary Jimmy Superfly Snuka, senior, wearing number 33.
Impressive. Always cool to see the family lineage.
For sure.
Isaiah Suesue is trying to get the play in time to his receiver. 15 seconds left. Time for one, maybe two plays, depending on if it's a pass. Looks over to get the card signals from the sideline. Check the wristbands. Monarchs have been bringing lots of pressure today. The Panthers have struggled to pick it up so far. We'll see if that will turn around here. Suesue rolls out to his left, goes to the outside, and well covered. Monarchs just all over everything right now.
All over it. Pressure.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 with 11 seconds left in our first quarter. You know, one thing about look, the Panthers know they're in for a tough task, right? But all it takes is one big play, one missed tackle, and then you're right back into this game, right? So do you think that's the message on the sideline right now? We're not out of this. We may be down by 14 going into the second quarter after one more play here in a moment, but you're still in this if you're West, right?
Oh, for sure.
Suisue.
Oh, no.
Everyone but the center moved, which is a no-no.
Yeah, big no-no. We're still in this, but plays like that will knock us right back out of this.
That's what we talked about talking about earlier when we talked with head coach of the West Panthers, Junior Solovi. He mentioned to us how this West team, you can't beat yourselves. And that's something you did in the first quarter last week. And now looking ahead to this week, it's been a couple opportunities, the penalty on the interception. There's been a couple other drive killers as well where have beaten themselves, unfortunately.
Yeah, the late run-in with the receivers.
Yes.
Some things we got to clean up. Hopefully we can clean that up in the second quarter.
Still 11 seconds left. It's now 2nd and 15 from the 15 as they'll give it up the gut to Arona. Gets a nice run out of it. And what looks to be our final play of the first quarter. So we'll flip the field and come back for the second. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind, where the West Panthers currently trail the modern-day Monarchs 14-0.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
3rd and 7 for the Panthers. So we get the start of the second quarter underway. Suisue in the backfield. Takes the handoff, pressure bearing down on him. Nearly intercepted. Instead, it'll be another punt. You know, one thing I think we've already seen so far, Sony, is it feels like West trying to get Suisue on the move to get away from some of that pressure, but then even if you complete that pass, you see the Monarchs are right on top of it. Right. So it's just figuring out what works early on, and I think that you can see that Coach Solovi and his staff, they're trying to make adjustments, but it's been difficult so far.
Yeah. Definitely, I think it's still emotions running high. You know, we're into the second quarter, but nice catch or pass, and then the catch got to get made.
Opportunity for a return here. Gets it to about the 33. And this is the hard part, right? When you're not mountain drives, you're then allowing the Monarchs to get the short field position, and it sets them up for success. And I mean, this is a Monarchs team as well that we've talked about a couple of their players on it, but this is a team that they scored over 40 points in 10 of their games a year ago. Jeez. They held opponents under 10 points in 6 of their games. 2 of those times held them to 3 points even. And only in 1 game did his team score more than 22 points against the Monarchs last year.
Yeah. I think the only thing harder than this Monarch team is being here in the booth with JT and Mike. Shout out to Dusty back home. You got me.
Brown going to give it to Davidson. Huge hole. He's going to try to make it to the outside. And another huge play made is we've been saying his name.
Bailahi.
Yeah, we've been saying his name multiple times already. It's kind of, it's between Sessi and Now as well. Those have been the 2 guys really for the Panthers that have been really limiting those explosive plays.
Right.
And that's one of the things you can take even if you don't come away with the victory in this game, is you have one of the you got to feel good about you have one of the best safety duos in the state, right?
Yeah. Frazier and Ali, right?
Yeah.
This is your chance to beat Frazier. Come and deliver a knockout punch.
Elijah Brown under center for the first time today. See a little bit of a power set for the Monarchs. And a physical tackle made as he was met in the hole.
I like that.
Davison was stoned, and a little bit of extracurriculars after the play.
Little extra sauce, just like whipped cream, right? We enjoy it. It's entertaining.
So Sesi Vailahi once again, man making the play. He prevented the touchdown and did so on that play as well, coming up and filling the hole.
Yeah, great read and hit by Sesi and Julius.
See them once again go with the power set. See the Panthers creeping down, trying to meet him. Jordan Davison, he'll once again get it, and once again met by the Panthers.
Oh, that's big. A stop right here in the red zone is huge. If we can hold him out.
Ryder Messina, the man who came down and got the stop. And this is going to be 3rd and about 2. And they try to get fancy with the behind-the-back handoff.
I love it.
And that's a fumble, the second turnover of the game by the Monarchs, as West is going to take over.
We'll take it, right? We talked about the ball falling over at the beginning of the game. Who knows? Maybe the cards just might fall in our favor.
Lost it a few times.
Take advantage of these turnovers. We'll be all right.
Sony, I don't know if you saw it as well, but it looked like Bryant tried to go behind the back on the handoff. Right? Yeah, so trying to get a little fancy.
Little
and,
LA Magic Johnson flavor.
Yeah. Those are the things that, I mean, this is only a 14-point game right now. Like, you look back, you have an opportunity to goal line, and you're getting a little tricky with it, trying to do behind-the-back handoffs.
Yeah.
Interesting call early on. Also, for this Monarchs offense, they have Taylor Kelly as their offensive coordinator. He is Arizona State's all-time record holder for all-purpose yards at the quarterback position. So you got a guy who knows what it's like to be in the heat of the moment, calling the plays. Just one he would probably like to have back there as the Panthers will start this one from the 4. Sui going to give it, and a nice hole created by the Panthers up front as it allows for about a 4-yard run.
It's getting a little chippy.
Indeed it is.
I guess back to that pass behind the back, right? Magic Johnson's the man, but there's only one assist, King John Stockton. Utah, stand up.
Even from out here, got to represent. What do you think? But you look at that one right there, Sony, and you start to see the movement up front. That's got to be encouraging, right? This is something we didn't see early on. It was lots of 2nd and longs, and this one, you get a 2nd and 5, which is much more manageable after the nice push you get on that first down run.
Oh, yeah. The turnover really lit these guys up. There's a lot of family on family in these trenches. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's bragging rights, right? But the scoreboard tells the winner.
Another tough run up the gut, and we are definitely seeing tempers flying. You see guys climbing to the 2nd level, making some physical blocks. Got Mafia at left tackle, Lewis at left guard, Hamilton at center. These guys are doing work inside right now. Tonga at right tackle. Falathea at right guard.
Falatea.
3rd and 2. Nearly got him to jump on the hard count. Instead, they'll wait on it.
Sign of a disciplined team, right? We talk about modern day and their history, like you don't come on that many wins and a legacy like they do, jumping on 3rd down.
So with 8:34 left, we'll step away. West only trailing by 14 versus the reigning national champions.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I'm going to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
West faces a 3rd and short. We'll see if Nukumafi and the rest of the Panthers offensive line can get the movement here. They've done a good job early, but this is a defensive line for modern day, led by 4-star Aiden Breland, one of the top players in the class. They'll go short, and it's a huge hole. The Panthers get some momentum and get the first down.
Great pickup by Masao Tuafi, a guy who's got a lot of family here in the Cali area.
So Otuafi gets the much-needed first down for the Panthers, and it's just carrying over that momentum, right? You got the interception before, but what happened? You have the penalty, so it backs it way up. You can't start a drive. It's a quick 3 and out. Now you already have 1 first down run. You could start to hear some of the Panthers faithful as well, making some noise. So start to get a little energy in the stadium. And West traveled well out here as well. You can see a lot of the families and.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun being out here. It's a great opportunity in California. Get a huge win. We'll see him go in the I formation once again. That looked like it was a little early as well, but they will not be called. As Sessi with a strong first down run. I saw a little bit of early movement there. Did you see that as well?
I did.
Yeah.
Eye for an eye, right?
100%, because that's what we saw earlier, right? We didn't call the false start earlier, and that was on a touchdown. Only fair that it happens there, and it happened on the biggest run of the day as well. You can really see the Panthers' offensive line settling in, and on this drive, this is the first one they've won the line of scrimmage so far, which I think is what's led to this extended stay on offense for the Panthers.
Yeah. We might have to just take these referees home with us.
Hey, we're still only in the second quarter. Don't speak too soon. They'll go once again to Sessi, and he is met physically, but he runs hard. You got people all over him, arm tackles trying to bring him down, and he continues to run and get those tough yards.
He's solid. Can't say enough about him. He's a solid player. Yeah, shout out to all the West fans that made the commute, the travel down to Santa Ana. Thank you. Appreciate all your support. And everybody that's watching back at home, forgive me, I'm a rookie here in the booth.
No, you're doing good, Sony. Second down, 6 to go from the 40. Vailaki once again in the backfield. And that false start a little too obvious, but we continue to see the extracurricular activities because you see the jump, and wasting no time on that one was Aiden Breland shoving down Caleb Lewis.
Yeah.
So back it up, another costly mistake. You're getting that momentum, and then bang, a drive killer.
Shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something the Panthers will have to clean up as this game moves on. But what do you find most encouraging about this drive so far for West, where they've now gotten 2 first downs?
The energy's awesome. We just need to be able to divert that energy and kind of stay focused, right? March down the field. All the extra stuff is, I don't know, not necessary, right?
A lot of Monarchs on the line. They'll run it again. Sessi gets it and quickly swallowed up.
Yeah, that defensive speed is something else.
That's Nasir Wyatt once again. We've seen him fly through a couple times and make some plays now.
Yeah. Is he an Avenger? He's moving pretty fast out there. I'm looking for a cape.
Something like that. So Sessi trots out now, and Sessi's a guy who, he was this team's starting running back a year ago, but talking to Coach Solov, he wants him to focus more on defense going into this year as well. And still comes in, gave him some solid runs right there, but do you think that's a smart decision?
I believe so, right? Keeping players fresh, especially with the numbers that we've got at West, is
trying to
super
pitch
important.
to the outside, and just a tough call on 3rd and long there when you're trying to get it. This ground game has been what's working for this team so far, but not there. It looks like the Panthers are going to be forced to punt once again. Had a little bit of offensive momentum going, but alas, it falls away. And we were just talking about Sessi Vailaki, one of the top players in the state. Also does a great job holding it down as the punter for West. Some guys really can't just do it all, right?
Sessi's one of those guys. He's like, the Swiss Army knife. He's got all the tools.
Snap is a little late once again. Sessi gets some air under it. Takes a nice bounce in favor of the Panthers. And we see another flag being thrown. Tempers flying early here. at Santa Ana Stadium. So we got just over 5 minutes left to go in our first half. I want to take a second to tell you guys about Victoria Real Estate and Financial Services. They're excited to be the sponsor of West High football, owned and operated by Victoria Tanuvasa. We are a team of industry professionals committed to genuinely serving our neighbors on the west side with all their real estate and life insurance needs. As a proud alumni of West High School, the class of 2004, Victoria looks forward to supporting the Panthers community. Once again, that's Victoria Real Estate and Financial Services. I also want to tell you guys about Mountain OPS, a local nutrition company helping improve the lives of individuals and families through high-quality supplements and Conquer Hunger meal donations.
Thank you both.
Yeah, all the
program
local
appreciates you so much.
Yeah, all the local support always great for all the high schools across Utah, especially West today. Bryant gets it in the gun. Go to the outside. You can see the speed of Bryant as he nearly breaks three, and he does stay up. What a run by Bryant. Shaking off Panther after Panthers, and he is fired up. What do you think of the run by Bryant there?
Great run. Shows that, this isn't a fluke on his part, right? All of his accolades are well-deserved.
So
Can't arm tackle a superstar like that.
Yeah, Bryant showing off the speed. We'll see if he gets it again here. Instead, RPO go to the outside. And that's what you like to see for West, right? 11 hats,
Rally to the ball.
Feels like 12. There's so many of them flying over there. That's going to be second and long. We'll see if the Monarchs decide to turn it back over to Bryant after his strong run.
Four minutes left in the half. I'm pretty impressed still with West's efforts for the score to still be 14-0. That's saying a lot about our team.
Says a lot indeed. West decides to burn their second time out of the half, and with it, we're going to step away as well. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Back here inside Eddie Westfield, JT Wistersill, and Sony Anilo joining me on the call today out here in California at the City of Santa Ana Stadium. With 4 minutes left in our first half, the Monarchs lead the Panthers 14-0. Second and 7 from the 40. Bryant. Run fake. He's got time. He's going to get to the outside. Hits his intended target. That's a first down for the Monarchs. You can just see Bryant being a veteran there, right? Taking his time, and then once the pressure did come through, getting out of the pocket and making a throw.
Yeah, had plenty of time there. We can't give that much time to him. And it almost seemed like he was maybe throwing to the other receiver that leaped forward, but went right over his head. And
so Marcus Harris, the recipient, got the first down for the Monarchs in their season opener after being crowned the 2021 national champs. They aren't the top-ranked team, though, in California, as they are the number 2 team overall, as well as the number 2 team in California, with Bryant dropping back. West coverage holds up, but Bryant all day to throw. He'll go to the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Monarchs. And Sony, I think when you're looking at that one, it's just too much time, right? You can't cover for that long.
Too much time.
So the Monarchs score once again. See if they can hold on to what would be, if the PAT goes, a 21-0 lead over West.
Yeah, he had plenty of time back there. Kind of like the pastor that goes overtime, right? Like you're looking at the clock and just keeps going. He had a lot.
PAT is through, meaning Mater Dei holds the commanding 21-0 lead over the Panthers. But, you know, we're going to keep it here for a second, Sony, and just talk about this is still, so far, there's been a lot of positives to take away if you're West, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're being able to, you know, keep the score relatively close, 21-0, so we can play if we just get our emotions in check and, you know, keep the extracurricular activities to 0. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, and I mentioned, I mean, this is, so St. John Bostic's the top team in California. This is the number 2 team, though, the reigning national champions. And if you're West, a team that's coming off a really strong season a year ago, I mean, and in general, we talked about Coach Solovey in his 4th year. He's 21-11 going into this year, now 22-11 if you go back to the win he got last week as well. But coming off a year when he got a playoff win as well, this Panthers program is heading in the right direction. Wouldn't you agree?
I do, definitely agree. There's a lot of potential here, right? And that potential just needs to come to fruition.
See an opportunity with 3:42 left. That's enough time to mount a drive. And I think another thing about that is, right, try to utilize a little bit of that tempo and really see if you can get these Monarchs tired defensively. Is that what you would try to do here?
I think I would. You know, as we're watching Mater Dei, they're trying to do, not trying to, they're imposing their will, right? They're not changing up anything to, I guess, offset, you know, our schemes and stuff. They're just smash mouth football.
Vailahi has had a few really strong returns today. We'll see if they give Sessi another opportunity to take one back.
Yeah.
So if you talk about the positives, I think Sessi has been awesome.
Oh,
this
Sessi's
entire
been
game.
awesome.
You can tell. I mean, he's a guy who, you know, he can play at that next level in terms of college. So it's not surprising to see him stand out against a team that has 22 guys that, if they wanted to, could play football at the next level.
Really, that's awesome.
Vailahi will get it. He's going to try to take it up. Shakes one would-be tackler, tries to spin out of another, but that's, once again, the fundamentals in the Monarchs, right? Wrapping up and holding on.
Yeah, something we can definitely take home and work on. Make those adjustments hopefully at halftime and come back and be a different team.
So Suisue's coming out so far, and you know, I think it's hard to evaluate what Suisue's done so far because he hasn't really been given a chance to do much, right? You're not getting ahead in the chains in the run game. You've gotten one really good drive going, and it's hard because you're facing such an intimidating defensive line to hold up in pass protection as well. So this could finally be an opportunity when you're utilizing that tempo for him to really get it moving here.
You're right, JT. I hope that happens.
Looks like West is once again going to go under center, and they will give it. Tough running by Arona, but goes for about 3 yards. Clock continues to tick. Are you surprised to see them go run on that first one there?
I am surprised.
That's going to be 2nd and 8 with just over 3 minutes to go. I want to tell you guys about Intermountain Fire Protection while we have a second. Your home and your business are far too important to not be protected. Intermountain Fire Protection will make sure that your home or business is not only up to code, but protected from fire and destruction. Call 801-419-8004. Another handoff to Arona. And once again, you just see the line of scrimmage is crowded by Monarchs, right? There's not a Panthers push going right now.
There's not.
It's all Monarchs.
They're closing in real fast. And I guess, you know, to go back to when you asked me if I was surprised, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe we should pick up the tempo, but again, if I knew more about football, I'd be down on the sideline.
And now you see a timeout from Mater Dei, and as they step away, we will as well. We'll see if the Panthers can pick up the first down when we return.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I'm gonna take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Back here inside the city of Santa Ana Stadium, where it is 3rd and long. We'll see if the Panthers finally turn it over to Sui. Zaya drops back, pressure right away. And that's just another one where you're unable to pick up the blitzing pressure. There's too many guys coming in as well, but that's the problem, right? You can't if you're going to let pressure through, you want it to come from the outside, right? You can't let it come up the gut like that.
Right.
So going to be forced to punt once again are the Panthers. It's just not enough time to get that ball out. And he took a shot as well, trying to fit it in there, hang tough in the pocket, just wasn't able to get it through.
Was that the first pass thrown to Charlie Holbrook?
I believe it was.
Oh.
Might have been on the day, or it might have been at least one other one. But either way, it's been tough on the outside because of that pass rush early on. Yeah, Tui Longa, RJ Finafo Ondofo, Zeus Vengus, Aiden Breland, all doing a good job. And speaking of doing a good job, Ceci's best punt of the day. It's down well on the other side of the 50. And about the 44. What do you think West's motivation is going to be here defensively? Do you think they're going to try to be aggressive or play back a little bit?
I think they're going to try and get out of here at halftime without another score. So I think they'll play a lot of prevent. Still try and be aggressive.
Monarchs have been aggressive on the ground today. Still 2:41 left, so they could run it a little bit if they want to. They've also had a lot of success with tempo offense we've seen so far.
Yes, they have.
The sophomore player of the year a year ago, Elijah Brown, turns in the gun. He's an outside, and after a delay, and because that snap was to the outside, throws off the timing, West gets a nice tackle, although the Monarchs do get a good push to get a couple extra yards out of it.
He's a strong runner. Even after, the Hats' rally to him, he's still on his feet. Says a lot about him.
Yeah, Ajon Bryant with another strong carry. We've seen him. Jordan Davison as well. Strong back duo for the Monarchs. Bryant dropping back, waiting. Pressure breaks through. Panthers get the sack.
We got a sack. Big sack by Khalil Laufau.
Laufau breaks through, gets the big-time sack.
33, Philly Snuka.
And that's going to be a timeout Modern Day as they'll try to hold on to a little bit more time. But, building a little bit more momentum going into the half, I think, is nice for West, right? Finally get home, first sack of the game.
Sure.
What do you think the Panthers' second half adjustments are going to be, Sonny?
Come out and play their game. We're still in this. 21-0 might be a skunk, right? But we're still in this. I think there were many out there who thought that this score would be really lopsided.
And I think some people even, I think you're going to see Modern Day come out and motivate the second half as well. I think they're going to want to pour it on a little bit more. This is reigning national champion. I think they expect it to be up by more than 21 points if you are a Modern Day fan as well. So reasons for both teams to go in and try to improve on things coming out into the second half.
If you're Modern Day, you're going to want to come out and, get some separation, right? Really impose your will and show them who the defending champions are. But for West, you're hopeful that, you've been able to keep them in 21.
The other thing about this game, right, is all of the pressure's on Modern Day.
Oh, 100%.
All the pressure.
100%. We've got nothing to lose.
If you're Coach Solovey, you can preach to your guys, let's go out there, let's play free, and let's just get after it, right?
Let it rip.
I mean, you're playing football in California from Utah. That's not something a lot of guys get to do as well, right?
No.
Go out there, have fun, get after it. And if you do that, don't make mistakes, good things will happen.
Sure.
Seeing a lengthy timeout here as everyone gets on the same page what's going to happen, but no drive is too much to overcome. This is basically going to be a 2-minute drill, right? 155. They're going to take it from the 37-yard line. But when you guys got guys like Elijah Brown, got Nate Frazier on the outside, a guy who's got Oregon, USC, and UCLA offers, Jordan Onowaves as well. You got Spencer Shannon, a Texas commit at tight end. Jack Wrestler, we haven't talked about him in a while. He's another guy, got a Notre Dame. An embarrassment of riches for Brown at the quarterback spot. We'll see what he does here. Low snap, RPO, steps up in the pocket, goes over the middle, finds his man. And that was Jordan Onovwe.
Tripped up by Sesi Valahi.
Yeah, Valahi once again making plays, and that's been the other constant for West, right? Whenever there's a tackle, it's Valahi. And even some of the best runs of the day for West, right?
Yeah,
it's Valahi.
Both sides of the ball, right.
Monarchs get back on it, trying to utilize that tempo. Brown. Drop back.
Ooh, almost.
He's going to step up, try to run, and he will be met. Feely makes the tackle.
Yeah, great pressure by Mania Brown off the outside. Pushed him inside and had help from the inside from Snuka.
So Feely Snuka with the tackle. It's a gain of about 1. A minute 30 left. Brown gets everyone set once again. Good job by West bringing the pressure. They'll try to bring it again here. But he's got all day to throw. Just too far to the outside. That's another thing I feel like we've seen, right? We haven't seen a lot of quick passes from West, from Mater Dei,
right.
Because the secondary for West has been outstanding.
Yeah.
Outside of the one, you had one coverage bust in the end zone, right? That's the one blemish so far. But outside of that, you look at things, and there's been a lot of covered guys all over the field. And these are good receivers, as I just highlighted a bunch of their offers as well. So it's a credit to them. And once that pressure starts to get home, hopefully you make some changes, adjustments in the second half, bring a couple more exotic blitzes, try to get some things going, confuse this offensive line of the Monarchs. Could lead to some more turnovers as Brown already has 1 interception. We'll see what he does here with a minute 16 left. Got the time, feels the pressure a little bit, gets it over to Derek Drayton. Or excuse me, that was Jack Wrestler. So Wrestler on it. See the tempo offense of the Monarchs. They're trying to get on it. Brown calling things out. One thing nice for West, West got to play last week, so they're feeling a little fresher. First game of the season for the Monarchs, and it showed. Clean pocket, low throw, nearly picked off. That one did hit the ground. Sessi with, once again, strong coverage. So 2nd and 10 from the 25 with 58 seconds left. 2 timeouts still for Mater Dei, so basically all the time in the world. What do you think the key is here, Sony, for trying to create some pressure and really disrupt Brown? As we've seen guys get home a little bit, but it's usually after that 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah. Kamani Lautami is coming pretty hot off the edge. He's been a few steps off.
That time a huge hole created by the Monarchs offensive line, and Bryant explodes through it, and we're going to see a timeout taken by Coach Rollins. This is a team, as we mentioned, they haven't lost since 2019. They returned 12 starters, 6-6 on both sides of the ball. And just a year ago, won not just the state championship, but we're also claimed as the best team in the nation as well. So there's a lot of things you can clean up on in this first half, I think. And I'm sure Coach Rollins isn't exactly pleased by what his team has put on the field, at least so far today. They've definitely done some positive things. I mean, they've still scored 21 points and have held West scoreless, but I think it's safe to say they expected more, right?
Yeah. They expected more. I think we had high expectations, too, for our boys to show out. So,
and in a lot of ways they have, right? We already talked about the really strong play of the secondary. I think you've seen a guy like Sesi Valahi, who's arguably been the best player on the field so far today.
Most definitely. He's everywhere the ball is.
Yes. He's flying around making plays, and he's another guy that is going to have an opportunity to create some more as this game wears on. And I think this is big as well. If you can hold, this is going to be 3rd and 2 here. So if you hold Mater Dei out of the end zone, come
before
back in
the
a
half,
second.
this is big, yeah.
Especially because when they come out, Mater Dei's getting the ball, right? So
Right.
it's a huge chance for Mater Dei to really blow this game open. But if you're West, you can stop them and get the momentum, as then instead Mater Dei's feeling deflated going in. 3rd and 2. Brown, pressure in his face, wide receiver screen set up beautifully, and getting outside of the tackle, shaking another off, diving to the end zone. Did he get in? Down at the 1.
That guy's something else.
That was Jordan Onovwe, and he looked dead to rights. It seemed like you got all the defensive line and linebackers sucked up on the screen, right?
Yeah.
But then it looked like they had the bodies, but great job by the D-backs of West to break through. And then from there, what happened?
He busted a Houdini and almost scored.
Exactly. What an impressive move by Onovwe. Because not only did it make a couple guys miss, but shakes the one tackler off and nearly trucks someone, and he was down at basically the 1-inch line. We'll see if Brown can punch it in here. They'll give it, and he's in. Getting the score is Jordan Davison. So Davison gets the touchdown, and Mater Dei is able to score with 20 seconds left in the half. And once again, the Panthers just so close, Sony. We got 20 seconds left, so two timeouts left if you are West. Do you expect West to try to be aggressive maybe here? Or do you think they'll just run it out?
The way the game's going, I've been wrong with my predictions, so I'm not sure. We very well could use those timeouts just because.
PAT is through. We will step away as Mater Dei takes a 28-0 lead.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Welcome back inside to KSL Sports Rewind. JT Wistersill and Sonia Nilo on the call for you. There's 20 seconds left as Mater Dei is about to kick it away. I want to remind you guys once again that West High Football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Falcia Construction.
Hey.
What are people getting in Falcia Construction?
They get everything. Whatever you want to build, we'll build it.
Panthers trying to get a return, but getting nothing as Mater Dei is all over it. Dragged back that time after making the catch was Jacob
Looks like
Wilson.
Coach Sullivan made some substitutions too with that kick return team. Looked like the underclassmen were in.
See if West decides to be aggressive, but only 13 seconds makes it tough. But you never know, pass interference, or are they just going to take a knee? Or maybe just a short run, right? Like maybe you break a run, but if not as high a chance of a turnover. This team's coming out, though, like they're ready to make a play on the outside. See three receivers at the bottom of your screen, one up top. Sui. Instead, it'll be a run. Ajon wrestled down. Strong tackle made in the interior by Malu. So that's going to do it for the first half. Mater Dei with the 28-0 lead over the Panthers. Sony, your thoughts on the first half?
Great first half. If you're West, you're only down 28-0. Clean up the mental mistakes, come back and play hard. Look for Mater Dei to come back and make adjustments to really make separation and prove, that they're the number 2 team in the nation.
Yeah, neither sideline, I think, the first half went how they wanted it to go, but there are positives both sides can take from it as well, especially if you're West, when you've got a lot of guys still making plays, and if you do just clean over those mistakes, you can be back in it. So that's going to do it for our first half. We'll be back with you once the second half gets underway here at the City of Santa Ana Stadium. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time, courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VIEW.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
See, we're back.
Sweet. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you. The way I had that.
And do you do work for KSL, Mike?
Not full time. I do all kinds of different stuff. I work for outfits out of Tennessee, True Grip and Lighting. I do a lot of college football work. I work for the state of Utah, filming wildlife for the Division of Wildlife, and just a bunch of different stuff. So.
to come back in?
Ready to come back in.
Ready or not, right?
Yeah. Actually, I want to check with this. Welcome back inside to the city of Santa Ana Stadium. JT Wistersill and Sony Anilau joining me on the call today. How are you doing? What are your thoughts on West games so far?
So far, I think we've been doing all right, right? Like, let's be honest, we could be better. But
just like me pronouncing your last name incorrectly.
Yeah, Anilau.
With its, yes.
There you go. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. But for the most part, I think we're making a trip out of it. Like, we just got to show up the second half, be able to contend and compete.
I'll remind you guys as well that West High football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Faustia Constructions.
Yes, sir.
So West coming back out. They're going to have to kick it off to Mater Dei. Mater Dei with a 28-0 lead over the Panthers, but still a lot of positives to take away from the Panthers. See if West can get things started with a strong return. What do you think Mater Dei's message was in the locker room that Coach Rollins was displaying to his team?
If I'm Mater Dei and I've been here for 34 seasons, I'm laying into my guys. Maybe not laying into them, but like, hey, who are we, right?
This kick is boomed.
Great kick.
Yeah, phenomenal kick indeed.
Who is that? Number
that
15?
One sent high and far by Jacob Wilson.
Okay,
that sounds like surprised you a little bit.
Yeah,
you've been around this West team. You didn't know he had that in him?
No. Great leg, Jacob, because Ari is our kicker.
Yes.
And so to see Jacob, I like that. If that's what's to come here in the second half, adjustments like that, give us a little bit of push up, we'll take it. Let's go, D.
Opportunity for West to get off the field. A 3-and-out would be huge. They haven't been able to get one today. Elijah Brown trots back out. Brown in empty in the backfield. 2 receivers to the bottom, 3 up top. See if they motion one back in. West shows pressure. It gets through, but an inaccurate pass to the outside and unable to control that one in was Davis. Actually, excuse me, it's Nate Frazier. Nate Frazier, kind of a do-it-all guy for this team. We saw him run the ball in the first half a lot and go to the outside as well.
Oh, yeah, he's special for sure.
So 2nd and long. Brown going to give it to the explosive Frazier. He's so tough to tackle in the open space. Explodes for the first down and then some. And nothing worth mentioning about that run there, Sony, is how about that Mater Dei offensive line?
Yeah, big push. I'm looking at our guys, right? So I'm a little biased, obviously, because we're from West. But I'm happy with that tackle. It wasn't an arm tackle. He met him squared up, broke down and hit him. Tackled by Lutuiki now.
So ball 1st and 10 from the 36 now. Brown has got time. Couple of shifty moves on the outside. And able to get another first down with a stiff arm as well. How about that sequence from Jordan Anovwe? And he is a menace when he gets the ball in the open field. You know, sometimes you talked about the tackling on West to play before, right? But sometimes it's just great players are going to make great plays, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that definitely highlighted. He's just great. They were there to make the play, but couldn't stop him.
So ball at the 51. Brown is going to once again give it to Frazier. And that time the Panthers were strong up front, and there's a fumble as well, and that ball is recovered by West. Their 3rd takeaway of the game. They've had 2 fumbles and the interception earlier as well. So how about the Panthers capitalizing on some Mater Dei turnovers?
I'll take it. Lutuiki now with the recovery. I think like you mentioned, JT, right? Mater Dei came out, wanted to establish that tempo, really separate themselves, and we got lucky there with the turnover.
it's double-edged swords, right? Sometimes when you rush, you end up making mistakes, and Frazier's been doing such a phenomenal job all game. That time, just couldn't hold on to the ball, but you saw the ferocious hit as well to jar it loose, and as you mentioned, good job by the Panthers pouncing on top of it. They'll take over at the 45.
I like that, JT. Panther pounce. It's a good one.
Trying something. Isaiah back in. Try to run it. And once again, Modern Day all over it. That time, it was Tuihana Lamaka who made the stop.
Tuihana Lamaka gesturing to our offensive line and scoreboard. Yeah, gotta back up, Misi. Play the game. Keep your head in it.
It's been a very chippy one as well. You know, two out-of-state teams. Got after it a little bit over the summer in the trenches.
You love to see it, though,
yes,
right?
100%. Great opportunity, and this is a West offensive line that has held up in some strong moments in the run game. We'll see if they continue to do so. Carry up the gut, once again going nowhere. Modern Day, Monarchs all over it. Sometimes it just comes down to those one-on-one matchups up front, right?
Yeah. Got to win those one-on-ones.
It's going to be 3rd and 10 here. We saw this earlier with the interception, right? Create the turnover, get some momentum on your side, and you do nothing with it. That's what the Panthers are trying to avoid right now. And how do you think they go about it in this 3rd and long situation? What do you think they're going to try to do?
Their best. Sorry, JT. You got me on the spot all the time. I'm watching as a father and a coach, right? I'm not the greatest coach, but yeah, I'm kind of stuck.
Hey, you're doing great. Isaiah on 3rd and long, and we see whistles blowing.
We take too much time, JT? What happened there?
That's delay of
game.
game is the call. We don't have a play clock out here, so we can't tell.
Didn't see that, yeah.
Exactly what's going on.
Can't do that. We cannot do that. Here we go again, shooting ourselves in the foot.
So shooting yourselves in the foot, as you talked about, have those negative plays as well. See what offensive coordinator Brian Messina and Isaiah Sui can do. Going to the outside. There's a little too much on it. You had the separation, but just overshot his intended target. Once again, Vailaki, by the way, breaking free. You see the flags come in, getting a little bit chippy. See the officials as well pointing at the Modern Day sideline, telling them to back off. So we'll see what the call is here. It looks like it's going against Modern Day, though. Depending on what this is, this could result in the Panthers staying on the field.
Looks like it. Looks like he's going to march it the other way.
The problem, I don't know if it'll be enough for a first down.
I don't think so either.
Because I don't think it's an automatic first down, unfortunately.
Right.
See both sides running over to sort things out, and
oh wow!
Are they moving the chains? They will. So the unsportsmanlike contact extends the drive. Talked about Modern Day shooting themselves in the foot. Talked about West shooting themselves in the foot, and then Modern Day does it theirs. A huge opportunity for the Panthers.
Huge. I mean, we were talking about chips. Maybe I'm just hungry right now, JT. But let's keep it chippy, but leave the salsa out, right? Chips, no salsa.
Can't go wrong there.
Con queso?
Sui from the 45 with 9:31 to go in our 3rd quarter. See how costly that penalty proves to be for Modern Day. Holding things off right now. I mean, there's no TVs here. We're the only one broadcasting the game as far as I know. So I'm not really sure what the delay was for, but looks like we're ready to get back underway now. Orona, high snap, played by Sui, rolling out, trying to call things out, and just has to throw it away. Just a busted play from the high snap, and just it's one of those things, Sony, right? A high snap throws off the timing.
Right. Good peace of mind for, I guess, Suasua there to not, take the sack. He threw it away.
It's a lost art you see a lot. Not a lot of quarterbacks like to throw it away, right? You see the guys at the NFL level who just buy time. So then by association, these high school guys who watch those pro guys think, I can do that. So very heads up and smart decision by Suasua to release that ball. He tried as well to do a little backyard football, tell his guy to go forward, but just wasn't received. And now we got 2nd and 10.
Little Brett Favre action, huh?
Yes. Suasua sees green grass in front of him. He's going to take off. Only get about 3 yards. He cut it back to the inside, and that's where the Monarchs were waiting for him. It's one thing that really stands out to me so far is the speed of modern day, right? How much green grass was there when he first took off, Suasua? And then how quickly did the Monarchs occupy it?
They closed in pretty quick, yeah. There was enough to make a play. But, yeah, they definitely closed in real quick.
Back-to-back smart decisions by Suasua.
Suasua.
You're going to have to see if some West guys can win on the outside. Trying to set up the wide receiver screen. It goes off the hands. So Darius Dixon on the breakup. Be 4th down, and looks like the punting unit is trotting out here. Would you think about going forward at all?
Oh, for sure. Got nothing to lose, right? I wouldn't play conservative.
And you got your best player as your punter as well. So maybe they do decide to get a little bit creative here. We'll wait and see.
We'll see.
Actually, we're just going to see the offense come back on the field.
There we go. Good job, Coach.
So we'll see what the plan is. Suasua going to try to get those yards he'll need, and we're going to see Modern Day took a timeout. Looks like they were caught off guard. Lots of guys running on and off the field, and with their timeout, we'll take one as well. You're watching KSL Game Night Live Rewind.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back into Eddie Westfield. West High Football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Faucia Construction. Also brought to you by Omi Photo by Naomi Masaina. Is located at 7819 South Highland Drive in Cottonwood Heights. Whether you are looking for a photo shoot with your family, team, family, occasion, come support Naomi at Omi Photo, 801-949-6365. That number again is 801-949-6365. Try to set up the screen, but well played by the Monarchs. Big time tackle by one of the best players on Modern Day's roster in Leviticus Soa.
Sua. Yeah, Leviticus is a big time player.
Yeah, Sua shifted out all of that confusion. You try to set up the screen. It's something the West is really trying to get the screen game going today, and every time, whether it's the backers waiting back, the defensive lineman, someone is there for it. And that time it was Sua. And because of the play, we now turn it over on downs as the Monarchs will take over with 8:33 to go in our third quarter. Brown gives it, exploding to the outside. Once again, Sessi the one to make the tackle. But Jordan Davison exploding. I mean, Jordan Davison as well. He's a guy, you can see the power. He's got the speed as well. This guy's got offers from Alabama and Michigan. So a well-recruited back, and you can see why. Because when that touted offensive line opens up a hole, he explodes through it.
Looks like we've got some substitutions up front, too, for the Panthers. Carson Taula up front.
Go the play fake. Brown drops back. He's going to air it out. Wants it all. Got the separation and the diving touchdown. Looks like they'll mark him down at the 1, but the huge catch made by Marcus Harris, tracking the ball exceptionally well.
Yeah. It's like it was magnetic to his gloves, right? It just kind of found him.
Just hard to deal with that speed sometime, and phenomenal ball placement by Brown as well. I mean, you mentioned, you get a guy who's got offers from Alabama and Georgia. You see why on throws like that. And it takes a lot to be a quarterback at modern day. I mean, Bryce Young, Matt Barkley, Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart went here?
Yeah.
Really?
So that's 3. You got 3 guys as well if you go all the way back to John Hewitt, who won the Heisman. So it's an impressive group. Negative plays don't help there. Brown goes down. Looked like it was going to be a designed run, and instead of trying to get it away, he tried to salvage it with his legs, but unable to. But another negative play. There is a lot the Monarchs are going to be looking to clean up for in film when they go back and watch this game tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Loss of 12. We've seen snapping issues a couple times now, and that was something that it's really hard when you got a 300-pound guy across bearing down from you to also make sure you snap the ball and get low as well. And we've seen both centers struggle with that today at times. And B.J. Tololo is a phenomenal player as well. I mean, he's got an Oregon offer. So we'll see if he can get it right here at the empty backfield set for Brown. Going to try to set up the screen, and all over it are the Panthers, as Brown can do nothing but dump it into the ground.
Hurried by Felix Nuka and Khalil Laufau.
So just like that, it was down on the 1. You get the negative snap, and you get the negative play there as well. And we got 3rd and 10 with 7 minutes to go. Opportunity for West to still stay in this one.
Definitely. You know, something that I'm recalling back to the first half, a lot of their scores came on big plays, right? We get down to the red zone, and West is doing a decent job of holding them out.
See what offensive coordinator of the Monarchs, Taylor Kelly, comes up with. Elijah Brown. He's got time. He'll step up, throw it to the outside, get it to his back, but he's taken down, but inside the 5, so we'll see what the decision is if they decide to go for it. Nate Frazier, the one who made the reception. Or excuse me, it's actually Jordan Davison.
Yeah, tackle made by Julius Tikoisuva and Mania Brown.
Mania Brown in part in that stop, as you mentioned. Guy who came over from Harriman. We've heard his name called a couple times today, and whistles are blowing again. Are we going to have another modern-day timeout? It's actually a timeout on West, so they'll look things over and take a break, and we will as well. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Back here in California at the City of Santa Ana Stadium, and what's been a great day of high school football for Utah. You got games going on in Bishop Gorman, Corner Canyon down there. Lone Peak traveling out to play Bishop Alamani, a team they beat a year ago in Utah. So great opportunity for the state of Utah to go out and get some national notoriety. And we'll see if West can make another impressive play here.
Yeah, it looks like we got Semi Hamilton in starting center playing some D tackle.
See if he can make an impact here. Brown gets it off the quick slant. That's another touchdown for the Monarchs. That time it's Marcus Brown who gets in for the score. What is now going to be a 34 0 ball game, and that's one where West, you get 2 negative plays right, but then get the little dunk off to Davison that set them up, and then Brown doing a good job staying patient and giving Brown some time to win in that slot position and get the score. So 6:24 remaining as the PAT is good. 35-0. The Monarchs in control over the Panthers. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
$35-0 your score. The reigning national champions, the modern-day Monarchs, over the West Panthers. JT Wistersill and Suni Anilo with you on the call.
Sonia Anilo, yeah.
Alilao.
We're good.
Been a struggle.
Thanks for having me.
West may be trailing 35-0, but there's still been a lot of wins on the day. Wouldn't you agree so far, Sony?
For sure. There's been a lot of positives that are coming out of this experience and this opportunity.
That time a booming kick will be playable by Wilson. Wilson trying to find a crease, and a nice return by Wilson.
Nice return, Jacob.
I want to take a second and tell you guys about NC Payments. Do you own a business that accepts payments by credit cards? Come work with National Card Payments. They are a locally owned and operated credit card processing company that has over 22 years of experience. Call or text them today at 801-300-6929 to get a free quote and see how much they can help you. They love to support your local prep sports and are offering a $25 Visa gift card for any business that signs up their merchant services during the high school football season. Call or text today for a no-obligation quote. National Card Payments require no contract periods and has a 0 setup fees. Opportunity for the Panthers to get some offense moving. A little bit of time, but strong coverage. That time by Darius Dixon. I want to finish with our friends at NC Payment for a second as well. Come work with a payment company that cares about the local community it serves. Find out how much they can save your company on your credit card processing fees. National Card Payments, the company that cares. 801-300-6929. Call or text them today. NC Payments. So 2nd and 10. Trying to be more aggressive, go to the outside. I'd like to see him try to push it a little bit. Isaiah, a little bit behind on the throw, but hard when pressure's bearing down on you. So the incompletion will bring up 3rd down and 10. Monarchs defense locking in right now. We already talked about a guy like Levictus Sua, who's got an Oregon offer, a Stanford, a Texas, just another guy who's dominant on the inside of this defense. Aiden Bryant, we mentioned him as well. This defense overall just loaded with top talent, and you can see West trying to overcome it right now. 2nd and long. He'll uncork it deep. And once again, just stingy coverage by the Monarchs. It's going to lead to another punt there. And, you know, if you're West there, what do you think? Early on, we saw them trying to stay with the run. Now they're trying to go to the outside, but just seeing the coverage of the Monarchs too sticky. So what do you think they need to do going forward to try to generate some of that offensive momentum?
Continue to play their game, right? Sometimes, you know, we're human, make errors, right? So
yep.
I don't know that we can change it up too much, especially with the talent that they've got. Play your game.
Punt is away and playable. Bobbled for a moment, but then brought down. Doing a good job tackling the tackler on that one was Mania Brown.
Yeah, great tackle by Mania Brown. Victoria Real Estate and Financial Services, excited to be a sponsor of West High School football, owned and operated by Victoria Tanuvasa. We're a team of industry professionals committed to genuinely serving our neighbors on the West Side with all their real estate and life insurance needs. As a proud alumnus of WHS, West High School 2004, Victoria looks forward to supporting the Panther community.
Sunni, a natural on the ad reads. Monarchs will come back out, up 35-0 with 6 minutes remaining in our third quarter. Elijah Brown, we'll see if he can continue to get some of that offensive momentum.
I think if you're a West fan, what you're looking for in the second half is for the boys to continue to fight. And I'm seeing that. Great play made by Sesi Vailahi.
Yes, it was Vailahi flying down from that safety spot and tracking the speedy Nate Frazier as well. I mean, and Frazier is fast. Some guys
fast.
Look fast, and then there's Frazier speed, what we've seen in this game, basically.
Frazier
he is
glides.
flying around.
Frazier glides like he's wearing Skechers maybe.
Frazier will check out of the game now. They'll bring in Jordan Davison. 2nd and 10 for the gain of nothing. Elijah Brown pumps, looks to the outside. That one goes through the hands of his intended target in Jack Ressler.
Third and 10. Philly Snooker coming in for Carson Taula. Will push Khalil Al-Fau back down to the nose.
So 3rd and long. Brown trying to keep his offense on the field. West brings 5, but the pressure is picked up. And then getting it to the outside too, Ressler was Brown. First down, Monarchs.
Tackle made by Lava Vailahi.
Vailahi so close to making a play on that ball, but it was a really crisp route by Ressler, just not able to get there.
Yeah, just right there.
In time.
Lava is the younger brother of Sesi, so we got 2 brothers playing in this backfield or for the secondary.
Opportunity for the brothers to make some plays together.
Yeah, a couple sets of brothers on the field, the Brown brothers and the Vailahi brothers.
True.
Ooh.
Brown off the delay. Snap was a little slow, but then the hit was made. And is that Panthers ball? It is. Happened so quickly, I couldn't even make out exactly what happened.
I missed it too. It was a little quick there.
Wow, what a big-time hit by the Panthers.
Big time hit by the
absolutely
defense.
Stone. And create the 4th turnover of the game. West has now created 4 turnovers of the game on the reigning national champions.
Yeah.
That is a massive
That's huge.
win.
It's massive. I guess in that same breath, we haven't given up a sack this game yet.
Yes.
We gave up 3 last week to Clearfield.
This offensive line knew the task that they were coming into, guys they'd seen during the offseason. This is an offensive line that also got some work versus Timpview, right?
Right. We did. Went down to SUU and had a great camp.
Messiah in the shotgun. 1st and 10, 4:27 remaining in our third quarter. Man open over the middle, and that's a first down
Great
for the
catch.
Panthers as Wilson makes the grab.
Jacob's coming to play in the second half. Good job, Jacob.
See West getting back in the huddle. Thought for a second they were going to use a little bit of tempo, but instead they're going to use an opportunity to change some personnel. As Ifoti checks in. Suasua in the gun.
Hey, there you go, JT. Suasua
Only
fam,
taking all
stand
game.
up.
Suasua trying to go back over the middle, and that is bobbled and intercepted. The Monarchs with the pick. Just a tough break for the Panthers. Sony is speechless.
Took my breath away. I was holding my breath. He had it in his hands, that bobble. Shoot.
Walloping hit as well.
Yeah.
Jar that one loose. Just another tough one. You have an opportunity to make a play on the ball, bobble it just for a moment, and then wham, you get the fast-hitting Monarchs coming in, making a play. And that was
Right.
Lucas Campazia making the play.
And Ifoti Vainuku, for the most part, he's got some pretty sure hands.
Yeah.
But you hate to see your quarterback make a tackle, right?
Yep. Get the momentum with the first down, and then just a play like that always hurts. So Elijah Brown, this offense come back out after turning it over. But their 4th turnover of the game. Once again, a surprise as this Monarch team has been very loose with the ball.
We just got to turn those turnovers into points.
That'll be the goal. Pass to the outside. Nearly escaping another tackle was Jordan Anovwe, but he is brought down.
Lava Vailahi and Suli Tikoi Vasa.
Try to get those wide receiver screens going as well. You get the motion going to the right. Scary thing about that is you get a guy like DeAndre Carter, who's one of the best offensive linemen in the country, out there in space trying to come over. It's a scary sight.
Yeah. What do you do when a fridge comes running at you, right?
Exactly. Brown fires a beautiful pass in, a little bit behind his intended target in Marcus Brown, but Brown able to haul in the pass from Elijah Brown.
There's a lot of Brown action.
Is there? First and 10 from the 34 with just under 3 minutes remaining. Talked about the West substitutions on the defensive line, trying to keep some of these guys fresh. Seen Modern Day go on a couple of lengthy drives, so understandably some of these guys getting worn down a little bit.
Right. I also hope that it's not due to injury.
Yeah. So one thing you always want to do, make it out of these games healthy. Play, run fake, go to the outside. Tough catch made by Wrestler. Holds
Met
on.
by Sesi Vailahi and cleaned up by Ryder Messina.
There's been maybe 2 or 3 times tonight where we've seen receivers break tackles. But outside of that, the defensive back tackling for the Panthers has been outstanding.
Yeah, pretty solid.
And when you're dealing with great players who are going to be playing at Notre Dame, USC, these kind of schools on the outside, to only limit them to a couple of those is still a really impressive feat.
I think so too. I think the secondary's really rose to the occasion. Doesn't show on the scoreboard, but yeah, we've seen some great play from the West secondary.
Brown all day to throw. No one in sight. Go across the middle. Find his man in Onovwe. Onovwe breaking open across the middle. And that's just a situation where too much time, right? If you're West, you got to get home there. How many tackles do you think Vailahi has at this point?
He's got a couple dozen maybe.
He might be over 15 at this point. He has been sensational tonight. Absolutely proved that he belongs on this field against Modern Day, as a number of Panthers have. So they've done a really good job tonight, trying not to give up a point here. Bryant dropping back once again, all day to throw.
Too much
West
time.
Finally getting through, but just too little, too late, as it's another touchdown for Modern Day. Jordan Anovwe gets back into the end zone for the Monarchs, as they're going to take a 42-0 lead, barring the extra points. And this is something as well where, Sony, you see those moments where good plays are made, negative plays, and then all of a sudden Modern Day just clicks and they hit a big play because they have so many explosive players and they're capable of doing that. PAT is up, and with 1:36 to go in our third quarter here at the City of Santa Ana Field. Your score, 42-0, Modern Day with the lead.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Back here inside Eddie Westfield, where the Monarchs hold the lead over the West Panthers.
Mountain Ops, a local nutrition company helping improve the lives of individuals and families through high-quality supplements and Conquer Hunger meal donations.
That's Sony Anilo. Oh, wow. Oh, get it eventually.
Somebody send a pizza up here. We need some food.
Maybe the fourth quarter, Sony. But one thing I do want to tell you guys about Sony is West High School football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Falsia Construction.
That's right. Proud sponsor.
If you're going to get one right, make sure it's the paying ad, right? Appreciate you, Sony, joining us up in the booth today out here at Modern Day's home field at the City of Santa Ana Stadium. That one a touchback. I think the nice thing if you're West right now, right, is you have an opportunity here where, look, it's 42-0. You have an opportunity to get reps against another opponent live in a game setting, right? And it's against one of the best opponent you're going to see all season. I'm going to say that right now. Even if this team makes a state championship, they're not going to see a team like Modern Day, right? So this is invaluable practice reps you're getting right here, basically.
100% agree, right? It's like driving a Tesla or, whatever exotic car for free, if you will, right? Showing up to the dealership and taking that extended drive.
So this drive will start from the 20 after the touchback. They'll try to go on the ground, and once again, this Monarchs defense all day.
Swarming to the ball.
Been relentless.
Tesla, Skechers, sponsor us.
A minute and about 10 remaining in our third quarter. Monarchs in control. Isaiah makes his way back out of the huddle. 3 receivers to the top, 1 at the bottom. Suisui instead gives it on the ground, and just the overwhelming dominance right now of this Monarchs defensive line is impressive. They're just shedding their one-on-one blocks and just making play after play. Looking at guys like Semi, Tao Longi, RJ, Finiana Nofo as well. These guys are just getting after it on the interior.
Are these boys committed anywhere, JT?
Nope, still open at the moment, but definitely going to have some D1 offers rolling in pretty soon. Guy like Aiden Breland's commitment still in the air as well. We know what he brings off the edge, and you can even see some of the other backups in there now for this modern day team. This is a deep defensive line, and we'll see if they can get after it on 3rd and 7 with just under 10 seconds remaining now. This should be our final play of the third quarter, and this tough coverage once again on the outside as Darius Dixon has just been lights out. He's a guy he's only a sophomore, Dixon is, and he already has an Auburn offer as well. So you can tell it's just a tough test on the outside, and that's as sticky as coverage you're going to see without an interception.
Yeah, good for him. That's impressive. Only a soph, huh?
Only a soph.
6'1", 180.
And college coaches are getting fired up hearing those numbers, right?
Right.
Still got 2 full off seasons ahead of him to grow and develop as well as. I mean, we're not even all the way through the first game of the season. How much he's going to grow and develop? I mean, getting an Auburn offer is really good, but I don't think it'll be long until crosstown rival Bama's interested as well. Still, those first game vibes going on for the Panthers as we see some late runners on the field trying to get set. This one a really high snap, but as always, Vailaki gets it away. Takes a bounce and downed at about the 43 with 5 seconds remaining.
Intermountain Fire Protection. Your home and your business are far too important to not be protected. Intermountain Fire Protection will make sure that your home or business is not only up to code, but protected from fire and its destruction. Call 801-419-8084.
See signals to run the clock going on right now from the officials. So because the game is over 40 at the moment, looks like that will be our final play of the third quarter. We got 1 more to go. West and the Monarchs doing battle at Eddie West Field. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Monarchs and Panthers with one more quarter to go on KSL Sports Rewind. JT Wistersill and Sony Anilo with you on the call. And Sony, you have a message for the people, don't you?
I do. West High Football on KSL Sports Rewind is presented by Faucia Construction.
Is that a pretty reliable company in your opinion?
I mean, I would hope so, right?
Only the best, of course.
Only the best.
Going to see a quarterback change for the Monarchs. It's number 7, Cole Leinart, freshman quarterback.
Tackle made by Daniel Neal.
What are you looking for in the Panthers in this fourth quarter here, Sony?
To finish, right? One thing you always want from your team, or I guess from any kind of competition, is that you play all 4 quarters, right? Finish the game.
And, you know, that last name Leinart sounds pretty familiar, right?
Oh,
he is the son of Matt Leinart. Yep.
No
So
kidding.
Cole Leinart coming in now. More than likely will be the next quarterback. Still going to have to wait another year extra, though, as Brown still has another one. See him rolling out to the outside like his dad did. But nice job being chased down from behind. And, you know, you could hear the Monarchs groaning a little bit. There was not a whistle blown before that hit was made.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally legal.
One thing I tell the boys all the time, right? You can celebrate your hits, but when you hear the home team kind of go, ooh, it's a big hit.
Yes. 11 minutes remaining in our game as we've now entered the fourth quarter.
Special thanks to all our sponsors, Omi Photo, Victoria Tanuvasa, Mountain Ops, Intermountain Fire Protection. Thanks so much for your support.
Leinart looking all the way and has his man. Nice reception made for the first down on the outside. Is holding on to complete that catch is Caden Dixon Wyatt. This is a modern day team as well. Like when the backups are starting to come in right now, Suni, these are guys who have a chance to be future really talented players themselves as well. So This isn't really like you're going against the normal backups.
Oh, no, yeah. Great tackle made by Viriata Tuaone.
You know, Cole Leinart only being a freshman and still being the backup quarterback is very impressive. You see the holes made by the offensive line, but, you know, good job staying in there and still making a play by Julius Tukisova.
Yep.
We have an injury on the field, and while the officials tend to that and the West staff, we will be stepping away. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Back here inside Santa Ana Stadium, where player was able to make it off on his own with a little bit of help from.
A little bit of help, yeah. Carson Taulo. We hope him, the best.
Yep. The least favorite part about this game is whenever people go down, is playing as hard as they can. Leinart, broken play, and he'll get dragged down. Nice tackle made there by Darren Mahi.
Darren Mahi.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for Leinart. See if he can get it done. It's one of those things probably tough if you're his dad coming to watch him play, right? You want to just watch your son. You don't want to be mobbed by everyone. So
right.
Because of how good Modern Day is too, he could very well have a chance to play this year. See what he can do on this long situation. He's going to take off and try to run. Got some green grass in front of him, but kind of a freshman mistake right there. He actually slid short of the first down.
A lot of Leinart fans in the crowd.
A lot of Leinart fans. Oh, he did get the. Oh, I was going to say, it's 4th down. They started to move the chains a little bit, but they brought him back. That's just, freshman mistake, right? This is his first ever varsity game and his first ever high school game.
And he's the quarterback.
Yeah.
The backup.
Yes, incredible accomplishment.
Yeah.
Especially, you know what? That's a lot of pressure with that Leinart last name on you, too. And going to a school like this and already being able to play as a freshman is incredible. Now he's got an opportunity to get a 4th down here. See if he can come up clutch.
I hope not. But yeah.
Leinart going to the outside. Ooh. And that was incomplete. So Leinart with the accurate throw, but just unable to haul it in was
Good job,
Jonah
Panthers.
Smith. Panthers get off the field.
13, Lava Vailahi. Number 4, Daniel O'Neill on the play.
You've been around this West team. What have you thought about the work they've put in preparation for the season?
Preparation's key, right? I think it's one of the things if you don't prepare, sometimes you just can't prepare enough though, right? Like top teams, top caliber programs like Modern Day really give you something to go home and set the benchmark with, right?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to prepare for things when you get thrown into a loop, like us when West just called a timeout after a turnover on downs. Very interesting. 42-0, 7:46 remaining in our game as the Panthers drop back out. Still the first team offense in. Why do you think that is right now, Sony?
I don't know. Honestly, if it was my call, right, I don't know that I'd still have them in with 7:46 left.
So maybe trying to get him some reps, right? That experience, like I talked about earlier. This is as good a group as you're going to go against, so you start to build some momentum against them. You still got a couple first downs, so proved you can get them against anyone in the country, honestly.
Sure.
Snap.
Missed snap there.
Well to the outside, so another negative play for the Panthers. Suasua, no choice but to dive on that one. And it's tough sometimes. Some quarterbacks try to pick those up and make plays out of it. But I do feel like when you're in a situation like that, the right thing to do is dive on it. Because whenever you're trying to still make a play on it, that's how you can often lose it and it results in a fumble.
Right. Masao Tuafi in the backfield with Isaiah Suasua.
Three-man rush. Tries to go outside. What a catch made. Leaping up and getting the grab there for the Panthers was
Ifoti Vainuku. Great catch.
Was a great catch.
Also substitution at the center. Mace Iono's in.
So 3rd down and 12, but still a huge gain on that. Definitely a positive to take if you are West. Suasua, 3rd and 12 with just over 6 minutes remaining. Ball on the 29. He's got all day to throw. Try to go across the middle, and that one was nearly intercepted.
Looked like he was trying to connect with Kingsley Brown.
Kingsley Brown open for a second. Well play made there. Nice play made there. So we'll be forced to punt again. The Panthers will be. Sesi Vailahi coming back in, ready to send it. As once again, see some late punt guys coming in. Corey Vallander back to receive. See if he can make a play. This one will be returnable. Tries to reach the sideline, and he's met.
Met by Philly Snuka, Vidiata Tuaone, and Chris Isaac Zaleon.
See Sweet Caroline going. The Mater Dei fans are having a good time, but just because you're not hearing the same excitement from the West fans doesn't mean there aren't a lot of positives to take away from this. When talking about the things that West has been able to accomplish and can take from this game, what stands out to you most, Suni?
I think that you can compete, right? We haven't really played anybody that of this caliber, so being able to take that home and like knowing what it takes to compete against a team like Mater Dei is huge.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest team they've faced in their program history, correct?
Yeah,
yeah.
Program's history, right? West High is the oldest school in the state. They also have the most state championships.
I see another quarterback change as Leinart's had a very short stint. Maybe there's a little bit of a competition to get it to the outside. And
tackle wrapped up by Darren Mai.
First down reception made by Jules Parm. So we'll see with just over 3 minutes remaining if West can get a stop and hold Mater Dei under 50.
Timothy Herr, right? I guess third string quarterback in for a series.
Yeah, Herr comes in.
Offsides by
Herr, another freshman as well, so very young quarterback room for this team. You got a junior who's a starter. Of course, Brown was also the starter last year. Yeah. After seeing this team in person, you can understand as well why they haven't lost a game since 2019, right?
Definitely.
Very well coached, got the guys up front. One thing that loss, not being since 2019, will change if this team doesn't clean up the snaps, though. Big play made by West.
Yeah, great defensive play made by Foti Vainuku.
Vailuku said, I am inevitable on that one, and came up and absolutely rocked him in the backfield, dropping him for a huge loss. Just under 3 minutes remaining here. You know, as a parent on this West team and someone who has kids as well, outside of just the football aspect of this, what has been the biggest thing you think your kids have taken away from this trip?
What it takes to be championship caliber, right? I think you don't ever know what something really costs or what it takes to build something, you know, like Faucia Construction, but coming in here and seeing a top program like Mater Dei, you see what it takes to have that top tier program.
Did you say Faucia Construction? Of course, the sponsor of West Football on KSL Sports Rewind.
I did.
Appreciate all of you guys who do sponsor West Football. These guys put in so much hard work and effort, and that goes for everyone as well, everyone on the staff, including my partner in the booth as well today, Sunia Nilo.
Got some late check-ins. We're going to call these guys out. Enoch Langi just checked into the game, number 45. Down in here at the bottom, we've got Philip Sochun also checking in. Nofo Hafoka, number 56.
Leinart back
up
in
with
the
a
game,
sack,
nearly intercepted.
Off. Sesi Vailahi. And Foti Vainuku.
We've got a minute and 30 left. See a little bit of chirping on the side, but as West defense exit for what should be the last time today. We talked about some of the positives, right? I think the 4 turnovers is the biggest thing, right? You're able to turn the national champions over 4 times in a game. I think that is an unbelievable win in that regard, as well as there were stretches of the game where you did have big runs against a really impressive defensive line, better than any you're going to face as well. I mean, the Timpview defensive line is really good as well, but what do we know about this West offensive line? They can hang with that Timpview defensive line as well.
49's in the game as well. Noah Tuitupo. Back to receive.
Yeah, Vailahi back to receive,
Vailahi.
but he's just going to let it bounce.
Good
And
call.
it'll be downed inside the 15. Clock is going to run as well, so looks like it's going to be hit as you can start to hear the eruptions from the faithful of the Monarchs. So the Monarchs are going to hold on to the win. But look, it's Monarchs, national championship team. They're a very potent program, as we know, very well coached as well by Coach Rawlings and the rest of his staff. But we know what they are, and they have things they need to work on and improve on for sure. But when you look at West, what's your biggest overall takeaway from this game, Sunu?
Probably the biggest takeaway that I'm going to is just the improvement from last week to this week. We didn't give up any sacks. Defensive, plays. We caused 4 turnovers. Is that right? So those are some big takeaways and things to build on looking into the future of the program and also the season. So that's awesome.
Things to build on for sure. West turned over the national champions 4 times. In some ways, definitely making plays and strides going forward. Mater Dei has a very tough test. They'll play Bishop Gorman, who took on Corner Canyon this week. West will return home. Also a tough test on their own to take on American Fork. What do you think about that matchup?
Looking forward to American Fork. I think we're going to come out of this with, all of the gusto and will to give it back to somebody back at home. So be ready, American Fork.
This game no different than all the other ones. Positives to take away from, negatives as well, but things to learn and grow from. Only the second game of the season for West, while Mater Dei gets a win in their season opener since being crowned the 2021 National Championships. Huge thanks to Suni Anilo. Did I get it right for the last one?
No. Sony Angilao.
Sony Anilao for joining us in the booth. Mike Christensen for holding it down for us on the camera. I'm JT Wistersill. Your final from Eddie West Field. The Monarchs 42, West nothing. You've been watching KSL Sports Rewind.